Hey legends, Clint here, and it's been a while since I've posted a video. It's not from a lack of, I guess, things going on here at home, but just oddly sometimes I just want to mow my lawn and or do stuff in the backyard and don't want to go through all of the rigmarole, is that the correct word, of setting up cameras, etc. So I thought today I might just do a quick update. Obviously we're leading into what's meant to be cooler weather. It's 31 here tomorrow in South Australia, but Celsius for those of you watching outside of Australia. So since you've probably seen video last, I guess everyone knows I've been having challenges getting the TIF Tough to where I want it. We've posted videos of lots of different things that I've done and some stupid things that I've done and just me being me, but since probably the last video, we've fertilized it twice, I think. I put out some plant growth regulator and some money shot maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you can tell, like, especially where I've missed spots, you can tell that I haven't got it. I've never used a plant growth regulator before, and I guess I'm kind of neutral on it. It doesn't seem to have, well, for a lawn that's not growing anyway, it doesn't seem to matter. So the things that we'll cover off in this video, I'll try and make it quick. Update on the Tahoma 31 that's down the side of the house, how I'm dealing with some existing ryegrass that's here, and finally, for those of you that have been watching and waiting and commenting and messaging us, I'm going to test my pH. Now, we've had people offer to test it for me, we've had people offer to send samples to companies. I'm useless with stuff like that. You know, most of the time I want to do it straight away, and so it's a Saturday. I don't have a lot of time during the week because I'm running businesses, so it's a Saturday afternoon, so I'm going to do the test myself. I'm not sure what will happen. I hope it's not neutral, because if it is, then it doesn't really give me any indication of what's going on here, and if it's high, then what we do, and if it's low, what we do, I don't really know, but we'll investigate that, and I'll post my findings here on the channel. Now, before I head over to the Tahoma, I'm just going to talk briefly about the rye. With ryegrass in a residential situation, there's not as much you can do as in a commercial situation, and there is a product that you can spray commercially, that you have to be licensed to use, blah blah blah. I'm impatient and flexible with my behavior, so I'll let you work out what I've done. But there won't be ryegrass in my TIF Tough soon, hopefully within 21 days, and it'll just be pure TIF, except for the Tahoma, which we'll go have a look at now. So this is the Tahoma 31, which we were gifted by the people from Tahoma. It is 6 weeks old in this area, and as you can see, it's, you know, average. Now, we've got a situation over here where my dog has urinated, so the glypho piss has killed that, and it's a little bit dry along the fringes. The irrigation has been off for probably a week or two. I've really tried to dry the lawn out as much as I can to encourage deep root growth. That's a thing, and I found that especially down this side area, it doesn't need as much water, and because of that, it hasn't had an opportunity to get that deep root growth. So I feel like I want to top dress and level off all the area here that's not level, but I don't want to hide it from the sun. As you can see, it's quite mottled. That's obviously, on a day like today, there's sun there and there's not sun there. Now, I've given it its first mow with a cylinder mower. It's probably 18 to 22 mil, I don't really know. It's high. I'm mowing the rest of the lawn at the same height, and as you can see, there's this mottled rye all through here. At the end of the season, we sprayed the rye out, but we didn't spray down the side because Max wanted to keep a little bit of grass there. But as you can see out here, there's a lot of rye, and it's just really frustrating for me, because if there was no rye, I think it would look okay, but the TIF Tough itself looks quite grey blue, which I can only attribute to either the pH being incorrect, which we're going to find out, or just an excessive amount of chemical inputs. And I don't know if it's excessive. I think that it's become a bit of a running joke that I put too much stuff on, but in reality, I don't think I do. you know, we did a double dose of fertilizer recently, but that was off the back of some advice from someone who knew what they were talking about that was here, and just said it might need some nitrogen. Obviously, where my dog was urinating, the lawn wasn't dying, it was actually growing, and he said that's a good sign that there is a massive deficiency in nitrogen because it hasn't died, and it's actually taken it up and it's grown well. And now that those areas have gone and we're back to having a few dead patches from the dog. But yeah, it's really important to me for this lawn to be perfect. And I know that sounds odd, but whatever perfect is for me. So, you know, there's going to be some dead patches where the dog goes to the toilet, and, you know, there's going to be some areas that I hit with a whippersnipper that because I have no idea what I'm doing. But for what I know we can do with the weather we've got, the quality of the irrigation system that we've got in Adelaide, the weather in Adelaide, and the quality of my irrigation system, and the fertilizer and the chemicals and the amendments we have available to us, it's not good enough. So I'm going to test the pH now. Stick a comment in the comments now before we get to that. Tell me what you think. pH is obviously, I mean, a lawn's probably going to be somewhere between, what, 6 and 8, hopefully. Tell me what you think, and we'll work out how to use this Manutech at-home pH testing kit right now. I'm going to read the instructions, so you'll be happy. So there's not much in there from a instruction standpoint. That's it. A little bit of a booklet. Talks about what to do. Then you've got your pH chart with all your colours. You've got a bit of a mixing pad here. That's just a hard piece of plastic. Some pH dye indicator. And what is this? And some barium sulfate. So I'm going to have to put the camera down for this next bit. I'll get a sample and we'll do some testing. So don't forget, if you haven't stuck your pH guess in the comments, now is the time to do it. We'll see how close you get. Alright, so I've grabbed a sample. Now I'm just going to push that back down. Freshly aerated soil, and let's go put some of the chemical on it. This soil here is quite moist because I irrigated this morning. I know I just told you I've been trying to dry it out. This is the first time I've watered the lawn for a while, and it's pretty wet, so I can't see that that's just from that irrigation cycle. I'd say it's just, oh, we had some rain actually recently. Anyway, so it says in the instructions to step 1, place a small soil sample on the white mixing plate and add a few drops of the indicator liquid. So that is the pH dye indicator. I'm assuming this will stain. Oh, that's a lot more than a few drops, Clint. So that doesn't really drop out, that squeezes out, so just be careful with that. It says to make a thick paste, so I've probably used more indicator liquid than would be recommended by them. Number 4, sprinkle white powder from puffer bottle on the top of the moist. So these bottles come ready to go, right? You don't have to open the lids and take stuff out of them or whatever. Now, that white powder isn't coming out very easily. I bet it does if I take this off. There we go. That takes me back. Tip it all out at once. Now, I can already start to see what is going to happen here. We have what appears to be very purple. Now, we're looking at 8.5. 8.5 is saying increasing alkalinity. So we need to now make a phone call and find out what products we would use to bring that back closer to neutral. Actually, what does it say here? Oh, of course it does. They sell some stuff. Changing and adjusting the soil, lowering the pH of alkaline soils, which is what we need to do. We recommend using Manutech sulfur, which is the most common and economic soil acidifying product for lowering pH. To lower the pH by 1 unit, so from 7.5 to 6.5. So we're looking at coming down by 1.5 units if we want to get to 7. You want to use 25 grams per square meter. Far out. And we're going to call this loamy, I guess. So 50 to 70 grams per square meter 6 to 8 weeks. So it says here sulfur is gradually converted to acid over a period of 6 to 8 weeks depending on soil temperatures. I don't have 6 to 8 weeks. I'm going to call Max and see if I can just put hydrochloric acid on my lawn. Yeah. It's the science, man. Trust the science. Alright, I'll go do some more tests. See you, mate. Oh, alright. So that's not exactly what I was hoping for, because Max wants me to do more work. So I'm just going to go do, he said 6 or 7 pH tests, which is like, that's a lot of, like, I'm an impatient human being, as you just heard. So I might do, well, I'll do a few pH tests. I'm going to do one up the side. I'll do one, see, that could be affecting the Tahoma as well. Like, if that's struggling, it's unfair for the people of Tahoma to have me as a test case and my soil is shit. So I'll do some more tests. We'll get a general idea. Max has a few ideas on what to do to bring the pH back to where we want it. He's just going to do some research for me on what's going to be quickest. I don't want to wait 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. It's going to be really cold by then, and I'll have perfect pH and no soil temperatures. So test number 2, same. So Max wants me to do 6 or 7. I reckon he just told me 6 or 7 because he knows I'll do 3 or 4 if he says 6 or 7. So I think he wants me to do 3 or 4. So, I'm just going to do 3 or 4 because I don't want to upset Max. Alright, so I've just finished the fourth test. The fourth test was in an area that's, I don't know, less frequented. It was still on the purple side. So of the 4 tests, we'll treat it as alkaline and needing to be amended. That is it. Thanks for tuning into this video. I hope it was beneficial for those of you that haven't used one of those Manutech pH testers. It's pretty simple. Even I can do it. They're available at a hardware shop. Well, I got that one from a hardware shop, but when I went looking for them recently, they weren't there. So maybe if you're driving there just to get that, ring beforehand, because obviously with everything in the world at the moment, there can be shortages. If you've got any questions or comments, stick them in the comments section below, and Jonesy and or Max will get back to you real soon. That's it. Be kind to each other and don't get too serious about it. It's just lawn. See ya.